Hello, good night. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharp. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments now so that I can answer. Tonight, I'm mainly focusing on your questions. So put those questions in the comments. There's a lot going on at the law firm. So over the past week, over the next week, over the past week, we were securing a new spot as the firm expands, as we work to help as many people as possible. This week, we're moving into that new space, and I'll definitely share those details with you on where our central office, the new office, is located, the larger space is located. So we're excited about that because it means we get to help as many people as possible. It expands our ability to do that. So we're very excited at the firm about that move. And not to mention, we still have a lot of work to do. So we're still filing applications, making sure that our clients are applying for the benefits that they qualify for. So it's a very, very busy, has been a very busy start to the day, to the week. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna get even more hectic. You should have an office in NYC. So we don't, now here's the deal. We represent clients in all 50 states and the globe. So we represent clients, we've represented clients in most of the continents of the world. We represent clients in all across the United States, and we easily do that from our office because we are a tech forward, tech savvy law firm, and we work with our clients to make it as easy as possible. And so there is really no need to have multiple offices just because we're able to do it easily, help immigrants all across the country and the world. So no matter where you are, we can help. All right, put those questions in the comments. That's why I'm here. Put your questions in the comments now, and I'm answering anything that's immigration related. I will go ahead and answer. So go ahead. I know you have questions. Do you help with citizenship paperwork? Absolutely. We represent clients in citizenship, and more than ever, you should be looking at representation because there's more screening, there's more complex requirements in the citizenship process. And let me tell you guys, while we have been seeing approvals, we have to work for these approvals, right? And that's because they are making it more difficult. Just to put it plainly, they're making it more difficult. In some cases, we're getting some crazy requests for evidence, right? We're getting, for example, I told you already about the pattern we're seeing with requests for evidence regarding common law marriages. So where the immigration officers now are saying that clients who have had long-term relationships in their country, like Jamaica, I'm seeing a lot of this in Jamaica, that they were in a common law marriage. So common law marriage is as it's a legally recognized marriage, right? That under the law, they say they've been married. They didn't get married in a traditional ceremony. Maybe they have lived together. They put themselves out to the community as a married couple. Well, immigration is now taking it a step further, and they're saying, oh, well, if they find any kind of documentation of a long-term relationship with somebody else in the past, we're now seeing requests for evidence to show that's to say that's a common law marriage that needs to be terminated. And because it's not terminated, any marriages that followed that relationship is not valid. It's crazy because my clients knew nothing about this. They're like, what? Common law marriage? They themselves never put themselves out as a married couple. And so that just goes to show the lengths to which they're going to really sift out facts that can stop somebody from getting their papers, right? And it's our job as the attorney to make sure we can put forth evidence and our legal arguments to show that our client, first of all, like for example, in this case, they were not in a common law marriage. They themselves didn't even know that. And be able to show that legally, right, so that they can move forward and get their documentation. It's not no, just because immigration says that's the case doesn't mean that they're right, but it means that we have to then make sure we respond, and we respond with a strong counter legal arguments as well as evidence to show that the client was not in a common law marriage. So that that's get an attorney. So going back to my original point with citizenship, no matter how simple you think it is, it can it can be complicated by things like this. I'm on Medicaid. Will that be a problem when applying for citizenship? I have a 10-year green card. So they don't do the public charge determination during the citizenship process. However, keep in mind that once again, they're cross-checking applications. If they possibly find that that you did have Medicaid at a time that before you became a permanent resident, that may raise some questions in your citizenship interview, and may even escalate the situation. So it's not to say that it's going to happen, but I just want to also clearly state the line of thinking on immigration side, right? They're looking at everything. They're going backwards. They're going as far back as your visa application. And if they see something different on your visa application, something that was represented different on your visa application or your green card application, and now you're going to your citizenship interview, and they then start to, assume or presume that based on the different information on those previous applications, there was some kind of evidence of fraud, you could find yourself in trouble. So I don't want to scare you. Citizenship is still something you should pursue. However, do it wisely, do it carefully. Consult with us here at the law firm. Talk to us about what you're worried about, and then we can explain the risk and move forward in a way that can improve your chances of success in the process. T visa, how long you think been waiting? 13 months, no work permit or SSN. That's pretty standard. Go to uscis.gov to be able to look at the case processing times for I-765 now. I think that will help you, first of all, to get the information directly from USCIS to see how they are managing case processing times, and to be able to adapt to what this process looks like and how long you possibly have to wait. When you look at case processing times, you're looking at the shortest time as well as up to the longest time. So my husband also owe taxes, but we tax jointly and on payment plan. I would, if that will be a problem. No, whenever you have tax issues, as long as you make sure you gather evidence to show that you are tending to the tax issues, you have a payment plan, that you've sorted it out with the IRS, that's usually acceptable. I'll apply in November. I'll DM you. Yes, absolutely. No, my schedule is filling up, guys. Right now, the slots on the calendar are going very quickly. So make sure you're proactive. Call the office. Get on our radar so we can contact you, or you can talk to our colleagues tomorrow to be able to book time with me to talk about your case. My friend applied for T visa, did biometrics last year, April, just got denial for work permit, but no BFD. What does that mean? So the bona fide determination, the work permit is driven by the approval of the bona fide determination letter. And in the case, what they're doing is running the background check. And in some cases, if there is something that they construe as negative on their record, it doesn't even have to be a criminal record. It could be that they were in removal proceedings in the past. Then they may issue a denial of the BFD. It does not mean that you're going to be picked up, or of course, it's a huge inconvenience not having the work permit or the BFD, but it does mean that you have to wait on a final decision on your application to be able to get the work permit and the protection. So it's going to happen in some cases because the bona fide determination is discretionary. How long it takes for EAD, I-140, and IW together with I-45. Go to uscis.gov and you can find the processing times for EADs there. How do you terminate a common law marriage? Yeah, so I guess it's going to depend on the country. So, for example, in Jamaica, common law marriage isn't even as. And I'm not a Jamaican. I'm Jamaican, but I'm not licensed to practice law in Jamaica. But we have had to tackle this issue about common law marriage, and common law marriage seems to be mainly related to property rights. So one can, for example, if the couple live together for more than 5 years, and say they live together in the home, in a home, then they can claim property rights to the home, and then it would be divided based on them being in a common law marriage. However, just just the common law marriage in Jamaica, there's no real straightforward law that talks about common law marriage. It's mainly related to property rights based on what we've found. So how do you terminate it? I that would not be something I'd be able to answer, because the thing is, our clients so far have not been in common law marriages. That has been an accusation, but our clients have not been in that. So we have been mainly focusing on the fact that they were not in a common law marriage to begin with. And it's going to depend, I guess, the law on how to terminate, though, is going to be dependent on the country or the state even. My spouse has U visa C14. My mom will get her LPR next year. I have a valid 2-year B1, B2 visa. Between my spouse and my mom, which tracks gets me the LPR faster, as I am married and above 21 years. Okay. Why not go for both? Your parent can file because U visas right now, if you want to apply for deferred action through your spouse, you can do that, and you'd expect a processing time way shorter than the 5 to 7 years that it would take to do it through your mom. But here's the deal, though. You are married, and you are the married daughter or son or daughter of a permanent resident. You're automatically disqualified from being petitioned or being sponsored by your mom. Your mom as a green card holder, can only sponsor you if you are unmarried. A green card holder can only sponsor an unmarried son or daughter who's age 21 or older. Once you get married, you're disqualified until your mom becomes a US citizen. Then your mom can file for you as a married son or daughter of a US citizen. And that still would track more than 14 years process. So looking at it that way, U visa, I would say, 10 years or a little over 10 years versus waiting 5 years for your mom to become a US citizen. And then once your mom becomes a US citizen, waiting at least 14 years to be able to get through the process. So that should tell you. But yeah, right now, based on your mom being an LPR, your spouse is actually your only option based on the two options that you have. If I had everything approved except I-485, how long after will I get response? Because it passed processing time. What's your advice on that? If it's past processing time, at that point, you can put in a case inquiry. And in some cases, if the case inquiry doesn't work, usually what happens is whenever we're dealing with a situation where it's past case processing times, usually you want to start with the agency. You want to put in a case inquiry to show that you are taking action, you're trying to work it out with the agency. At that point, if the agency doesn't respond or the response does not provide you a satisfactory answer, then the next thing you can do is they have various options. So you can go through your state representative, your state senator, or you even there are legal avenues like filing suit if it's a situation where this really should not be justified. Then you can file suit. So filing suit, it can get expensive, of course, but it may be worth it just depending on how long you're waiting. And usually you start with the agency and then work your way through that escalation process. I know there's nothing in stone, but what is the maximum time for UNT visa? I think you go to uscis.gov, you'll be able to see the maximum time there because it's really good. You can see the case processing time, and I believe they show you the shortest time and to the longest time. So that they would definitely have the right answer for you there. Where's your office located? Is there a number we can call to set an appointment? Absolutely. So the office, we're in Delray Beach, and we're currently going to move. So I'm going to share that once we get settled into the office. I'm going to share the new location. You can see our address on our website, so you can go to Linktree, go visit our website. It's a great website where you get to know the firm, get to know what we do. You get to see our past clients talk about their cases and how we help them. You can see see all the client reviews and just basically see what we're about and see what our mission is. Go there and you'll also see the number. You can fill out a form there to be able to get in touch with us directly. We can call you back, or you can call the number that you're going to see on the website as well. Okay, did a motion to reopen for denied PIP. However, the application is pending for a while. So, you'd have to contact them about that. Where are you located? So what I'm gonna do to make it easier, I'm gonna put the number here. It's on the immigration lawyer, Sharifa. Go ahead, call the number. You can call now. And what we'll do is we always answer the phones, but after 9 o'clock, our intake team will not be in, and they'll come in first thing tomorrow. They'll call you back. All right. Okay. Hello. Thanks so much for the love. Thanks for the love on Instagram. Thanks for the love on TikTok. And as always, thanks for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna be let me go on TikTok because I see questions flowing in and I know it can get out of control. So let me answer some there. Are after you submit your I-485 and took biometrics verification, but no update for 8 months, what's next? So you can always check to see if you're within case processing time, if you're outside of case processing times, and then decide what to do from there. What if he's divorced? Can the mom still file for him? Yes. So once divorced, it means that the son is no longer married, and they're the unmarried son of the mother again. And what I was just talking about is the F2B category, which, so we had a question earlier. Someone says, should they go for the U visa through their spouse or through the parent? Through the parent who's an LPR. And the thing about that is an LPR parent cannot file for a married child. They must only file for an unmarried child who's aged, I should say son or daughter, not child, but the son or daughter aged 21 or older, and who is not married. That's the important part. K1 visa was denied because biometrics appointment was missed, but never received a letter in the mail for the appointment. So in this case, if you never received, you can always file to get your case reopened or reconsidered based on the error. If you can show that there was an error, that somehow it didn't get delivered, that's even better. So it's possible to do that. Otherwise, you may have to refile. But since this may be an error or an issue on USCIS's side, you may be able to get your case reopened. N400 interview July 2025, oath January 2026, canceled, 2 inquiries, no results. I plan to sue. Worth it? So what's happening now is that I don't know which country you're from. That's going to be very important. But they did announce that they are lifting the hold on citizenship applications, especially those who are canceled. I actually received a call from the asylum office aiming to reschedule my clients who were canceled, in their asylum interview. So, it shows that there is movement again. Last week we got 7 work permits in one day. And that once again shows some movement. And this is all to say that now that they've lifted some of the holds, you may see that your oath ceremony is rescheduled. Maybe you can even call and check in to see if you are in line to have yours rescheduled. But keep in mind that those who are from countries on the banned list are still being placed on hold. So that's still a frustrating aspect of this. Is IRS Fresh Start safe for a green card holder? So I have not, whenever you are working, it's not a public benefit or anything that's going to affect you in regards to public charge. And I think as long as it's legal, it's a program that will help you get back on track and comply with tax law. It should not be a bad thing. Make sure, though, that you are definitely talking to your attorney. I don't have any context. I don't have any facts. For example, I know this is a long shot, probably not, but so for example, this is some kind of plea deal in a criminal case regarding tax evasion that they're calling IRS Fresh Start, then I would have a different answer for you. But I'm assuming this is probably a program that just helps you to manage your tax debt and to be able to pay it back and comply with tax law. In that case, it should help you and not necessarily cause a problem. But I don't have context here, so I don't know. Did my I-751 interview in November 2025. I haven't heard anything yet. My sister passed. It's safe to travel. Yet my sister passed. Is it safe to travel? I'm so sorry that your sister passed. My condolences. Um, now, should you? I guess the question is it safe to travel to go to the funeral? Green card holders, including those who have the 2 year that's transitioned into the 10 year, can travel. The thing that I am usually concerned about regarding travel in this case is at any point you could get a denial. If, Lord, knock on wood, you don't get the denial, but if in the case you do, you end up going to your country and that denial is issued while you're outside of the country, you may not be allowed back into the country. So, is it risky? I would say there's an elevated risk. I'm not your attorney, though. I don't know your case very well. So I wouldn't be able to advise outside of just generally saying any kind of travel while your case is pending, can raise the risk of getting a negative decision while you're outside of the country. You owe a balance of 300 for a child is 18 years old. For a child who's 18 years old, and you were at an interview, never had. I'm sorry, can you just restate that? I don't know what that, I can't read that question. Can I file for change of status if my husband has a green card and I have asylum? Always make sure you're, of course, scheduling the appointment because we need to have context. Your facts matter. Your facts, details matter, especially here at this law firm where we work on case types that are heavily dependent on facts, right? We do help clients in cases where they thought it was impossible to get relief. But how do we do this? Is we talk to these clients and we get their facts. And so here you're asking, can you do I guess this is an adjustment of status with a US LPR spouse, or even when you're going through the asylum process, the answer is it's possible, but we'd have to get facts here to understand, does it make sense? Are there, potential obstacles in the way of those two processes at the same time? Which process may be better for you? Then we'd be able to advise in a more specific, intentional way. Now, the thing about, and somebody said, is it worth filing suit? Um, it can be. It can be. It just depends on how long you've been waiting, and whether the delay is, is it justified? Is there some arbitrary reason why your application is being canceled? Of course, we know that they were just arbitrarily putting a hold on everybody's case across the board, and there are lawsuits because of this. But it also comes down to case processing times too. So you'd have to consult with an attorney just to see, but it can be worth it. It can definitely bring results, but you have to make sure that you are suing at just the right time for the right reason. Um, Oh, thank you, Demo. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. We need a consultation closer to November. So yeah, definitely. What I say though is make sure you are giving yourself and the attorney time to really delve into your case, give you advice, and keep in mind, guys, sometimes doing a consultation months in advance, even a year ahead, can help you to strategize, help you to better plan, help you to go and get documentation that takes time to get that you didn't know that you should get in time for filing or going for what you qualify for later on. So just keep that in mind. Treat your immigration case with urgency. Make sure you're acting now. Don't say when this, when that, because you don't know what can happen. So just make sure if something is worrying you right now, get on it now. Get on it now. Don't say, after this or after that or in a few months, or you just don't know what can happen. Okay, just going through. Please, can you file I-751 weeks before it expires? Yes, absolutely. You have a 90-day window before. So within 90 days of the expiration of the I-751, you are supposed to file this. If you wait till after the deadline, you may be in trouble, because really there usually are no extensions and you have to show extraordinary circumstances as to why you missed the deadline. But here's the deal, guys. Here's the good news is if you're separated from your spouse, or somehow your spouse will not be involved in your process, you can actually get a head start and apply sooner. You can apply even before the 90-day period to apply. And if you and your spouse separate after you apply, you can apply for a waiver as well. My daughter is 18. Do I need to file for I-130 forms? So it depends. I don't know what your goal is and what your status is. If you're a US citizen, your daughter is 18, you can file for your daughter. And she, as a child, should be treated as a child with a faster processing time, as long as she's under the age of 21 at the time of filing. Once they turn 21 or older, even if you're a US citizen, that process becomes much longer. So it goes to at 7 years, a minimum of 7 years. All right, let's go on. Let's see. I'm gonna do YouTube now and Facebook. How long it takes to get the receipt notice and then EAD filing after a T visa. So, last year we were seeing 4 months, um, even up to 6 months. Now we're seeing receipt notices taking a shorter period of time. Now we're seeing about 2 weeks. So 2 to 4 weeks now. So the good news is they're processing those faster. What is your Instagram page? So, Maid Hendricks, it's Immigration Lawyer Sharifa on Instagram. Immigration Lawyer Sharifa. How long VAWA takes to approve? Go to uscis.gov. Go look at case processing times there. I think it's best for you to see that generally how long these cases are taking for everybody across the board. I finally catch the live. Welcome. I'm so glad you've caught me. Go ahead and ask your question, Jean. Where are you located? We're in Delray Beach, Florida. However, we represent clients in all 50 states and the globe. So no matter where you are, we can represent you. I'm currently in the process of applying for a U visa. I witnessed a crime. Do you know the wait time? Go to uscis.gov, go to case processing time. You see the range of time it takes there. Now, the U visa does come with the bona fide determination, which and deferred action, which allows that you to get a work permit while you wait, and that takes a shorter time than the years U visas take, and so it still could be worth pursuing the U visa as an option, especially if it's your only option. How long do you see BFD EAD coming for the T visa? So it ranges. It ranges, and not every case is going to be the same. So I right now I'm seeing anywhere from 8 months to over a little over a year for those EADs to come through. The BFDs are tend to come sooner, and then the work permits come later. All right, I'm back on TikTok, checking for last minute. How long will it take for a U.S. citizen stepfather sponsor stepchildren under 21 from Guyana? So it can take a while. There are two steps of the process. So there's filing the I-130, and then once the I-130 is approved, it goes to the National Visa Center that acts as a middle person between the petitioner and the U.S. Embassy. That second portion can take, I would say, prepare for a year and a half or more for that process to take place to get to the interview. We submitted the habeas corpus in March on March 11th, still nothing. So did you use an attorney? You'd have to talk to your attorney about that to see where you are. Or that's why it's very important for you to have an attorney on it to make sure it was properly filed and that the arguments are sufficient. I'm a green card holder. If I marry a J1 holder, can she change her status? It may be possible. The only thing I would say is there is the 2-year foreign residency requirement, and that can definitely put a wrench in your plans. So you would have to get a waiver to get that 2-year foreign residency requirement waived. Some J1s don't have it, they're not subject to it, and they can move forward with their process. But what we have to do is we have to go as far as to contact the office to determine whether they are subject. We get an advisory opinion on whether they're subject, and in some cases, we get back no, that they're not subject to the 2-year foreign residency requirement, and we can move forward with their adjustment of status without worrying about a waiver. So call us, talk to us, let me first determine whether the 2-year foreign residency requirement applies, and then we can go from there for sure. I hear USCIS is going to review all cases approved since Biden administration. Is that correct? Yes. So that is something that they have already been doing. It's in the works. And so they're basically targeting people who in the past couple of years, they did not attend interviews and they were approved for certain like permanent residents. So some people may get notification that or notice to revoke. So it's not going to be very pleasant. But this is where, it's important to just be aware and make sure that you have a plan in case that happens. But yes, they are going backwards and reviewing cases. And that's part of the reason why they are slowing down on adjudicating cases. How long does T visa, after T visa is submitted, do they get the receipt notice? So it can range anywhere from 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks to 4 months right now, because that's how long it was taking. We're noticing receipt notices are coming in on a shorter timeline. But, as usual, I don't control that either. I can only watch the patterns. How long before I get my physical green card after immigration judge approved my motion to terminate? So if the judge approved your motion to terminate, that does not amount to you getting a green card. So I think there's some information missing here. Did the judge also approve? Did the judge approve adjustment of status for you, or where are you? I don't understand how a motion to terminate, granted motion to terminate, amounts to a green card. So that's where, talk to your attorney, make sure everything is, you're doing everything correct, or that you need to start on that process if you haven't started on it. Any news about the 75 countries visa pause? No. Thank you, Jean. I'm glad I answered your question. Are you seeing BFD and work permit coming together for T visa? Yes, the past 7 we got, they came together. All right, that's gonna be it for me tonight, guys. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna be back as usual tomorrow. This week is exciting, an exciting week, but it is going to be an extremely busy week. So I am still gonna work to come on. I may come on late though, but that's why I always say, because right now I don't have a set time. Because things can come up during the days, with this busy, with this administration keeping us very busy. So what I say is like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. When you see me come on, then you come on as well and ask your questions, because that is how, you will get information from me that can help you to figure out how to move forward in your process. Barbara, thank you. Thank God it's an exciting week. Yes, exactly. It's going to be exciting. Any news on Haitian TPS? That has been extended by the court as the litigation is pending now. As long as litigation is pending, the TPS for Haitian citizens continues. But here's some more exciting news is that in the House of Representatives, they did go ahead and pass a bill to extend TPS to 2029 for Haitian citizens. And this was spearheaded by, I believe, 2 representatives from Ohio, as well as, I forget her name, but she is, I believe, the Massachusetts representative. So no, that does not mean it's passed. It's not law. It does face an uphill battle in the Senate, but it's going to go to Senate where and by the way, 10 Republicans in the House of Representatives went ahead and switched sides and voted for this bill as well. It really does show while all immigrants, majority of immigrants do contribute greatly to this country and what this country is, the fact that there is support for this bill shows how much the Haitian citizens have contributed to. I know in Ohio, they basically revitalized a whole town in Ohio. And that is why they have had so much support as well. But hopefully this also shows that the tides are changing, right? That now as immigration enforcement has contributed to labor shortages, mass trauma, people basically being separated from their families, that there is a changing tide where there's more willingness to side with immigrants right now to be able to get us back to what we were. So we'll see what happens with this bill, but we do know that it's going to face an uphill battle in the Senate. But we will see. We will see. Let's pray for miracles. So far, everything has been looking good, and there's more support for Haitian citizens. So hopefully, we'll see something great happen in the Senate as well. All right. Is it normal to get I-130, I-485 approvals at different times, even when filed concurrently? Yes, that's relatively normal. No, so we don't do work on the criminal side. We only work on the immigration side. Now, if our client has a criminal record, we then have to look at how can we get our client the relief despite the criminal record, or how is this criminal record going to affect our clients in terms of their immigration benefit or what their status. So if you need us to evaluate how their record is going to affect them, we can do that. All right. Thanks everybody for your time. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. That is how you're going to see when I come on, so you can then ask me questions. All right. And because I'm so busy just during the day working on our client cases, making sure that everything is on track here at the law firm, I come on at different times, hence the late time that I'm on right now. So just make sure that you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so that when I do come on, you can come on if you're available as well. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.